When people imagine the fall of Rome, they usually think of barbarians, shattered gates, armies, or emperors being poisoned in marble palaces. But the truth doesn't look that simple. Empires are often destroyed not just by outside attacks, but from within. And the thing that eats them from the inside the most is money, or money that is not used correctly. Rome didn't collapse only because of invasions. Monetary collapse, economic collapse, and then the death of the emperor became the next factors. Just like modern countries say, nothing will happen if we play with the money, Rome said the same thing, and the end wasn't good. Rome's monetary system worked for centuries in a not very complex way. A silver coin called the denarius. It contained nearly pure silver. It was trustworthy for everyone. Soldier salaries, trade, savings, everything revolved around this coin. Meaning the money, more than metal, was trust. But protecting the empire was extremely expensive. Soldiers, roads, wars. Since taxes weren't collected properly, emperors said, let's do some trickery, and started reducing the silver content. Instead of increasing taxes, they decreased the metal inside the currency. At first, the coin was 95% silver. Then it dropped to 50%, and later below 5%. Of course people noticed it, and the money basically collapsed in front of their eyes. And the result was inflation. Soldiers demanded higher pay. Merchants refused to accept coins. People returned to barter, and everyone started saying, this money is worthless. Once trust is gone, you can't build or maintain a system. During the crisis of the 3rd century, things got even worse. Emperors changed every month. Civil wars, invasions, and plagues erupted. As money lost value, taxes also decreased and disappeared. Trade collapsed completely, and the population went bankrupt. Diocletian said, enough, and tried to fix prices at a fixed rate, even ordering death penalties for those who raised or lowered prices. But when money is already worthless, no law can hold its authority. The black market grew, and the economy fell even deeper. Diocletian said, enough, and tried to fix prices at a fixed rate, even ordering death penalties for those who raised or lowered prices. But when money is already worthless, no law can hold its authority. The black market grew, and the economy fell even deeper. In the end, Rome ended the era of the denarius, and Constantine introduced a new currency, the gold solidus. The empire started growing a bit again, but it was already too late. Western Rome had already collapsed from the inside. The clear lesson is, when money collapses, the empire collapses. This law does not belong only to Rome. Germany did the same mistake in 1923. They printed money, it collapsed, and people became poor in a single day. Zimbabwe repeated the same in the 2000s and walked toward destruction. Even America, when it abandoned the gold standard in 1971, saw the trust in the dollar shaken. Today, many countries print money for no reason and say, there is no problem. But history says, there is always a problem. The people who get hurt the most are those who live on salaries, save their money, and try to live modestly. So what should we learn from inflation is not an accident, it is a policy. Real wealth is not in paper money, it is in land, skills, production, and real assets. No economic system stays stable. In the Roman Empire, people said, our money will never collapse. Germans said, hyperinflation can't happen here. Zimbabwe said the same. And then the impossible happened, and they collapsed. When money loses its true value, society declines, trade becomes chaotic, and the state loses trust. Even armies can fall apart. Collapse often begins internally, and eventually drags the outside world into disaster. So, history doesn't repeat itself, but it crushes those who do not learn from it.